To politics now, where all eyes are on Indiana. Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are campaigning there today ahead of Tuesday's primary. This is a live look right now at Trump's rally in Terre Haute, Indiana. 57 delegates are at stake there on Tuesday. And Donald Trump is holding on to his wide lead, according to a new poll out today. He has 49% support in the state. Cruz is 15 points behind with 34%, and Kasich has 13%. Cruz has no mathematical shot at securing a first ballot nomination. His strategy now? Unify the anti-Trump vote and try to stop Trump from getting the delegates he needs for a first ballot win. Cruz spoke with John Dickerson on Face the Nation.
If the choice is that clear and has been for some time, why have 10 million people voted for Donald Trump? That's many millions more than you. He's got 300 or so more delegates. I mean, were those people confused about the choice? Did they miss something?
Well, listen, early on, Donald did well when there were 17 candidates because he unified his support. He has an impassioned minority behind him. And when everyone else was diffused, he won a lot of early states. And, you know, you ask, are people confused? Listen, Donald Trump is attempting to perpetuate one of the greatest frauds in the history of modern elections, which is he is trying to convince people that he's some sort of outsider. Donald is the essence of the Washington insider. He has been enmeshed in the corruption in Washington.
So, but your theory of how you'll get the nomination relies on you going to an open convention and overthrowing the delegates, the delegate lead that Donald Trump has. In order for that to happen, you can't do that without the help of the Washington establishment that you've just been talking about.
John, here's where we are. Nobody is going to get to 1237 before Cleveland. I'm not going to get there, but neither is Donald Trump. We're going to go to a contested convention. When we arrive in Cleveland, I'm going to have a bunch of delegates. Donald's going to have a bunch of delegates. And it's going to be a battle to see who can earn the support of a majority of the delegates elected by the people.
John Allen is a columnist with Roll Call. He's in our Washington newsroom. John, first of all, thank you for joining us. I know it was a late night last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, so thanks for being up with us. We're going to touch on that.
Late morning.
Late morning. Oh, it went that long, huh? We're going to touch on that in just a second, John. But first I want to ask you, having heard what happened on earlier today, it looks like mathematically all Ted Cruz can do now is try to limit Trump's delegate gains by uniting the anti-Trump vote. He formed this kind of non-compete with John Kasich, and now he's picked Carly Fiorina as his vice presidential candidate. What's your assessment of this strategy so far?
I think it's like a college basketball team that's down 15 points with 2 minutes, and it keeps throwing up three-point shots, hoping that one of them will go in, or actually hoping that a string of 5 or 6 of them will go in a row to tie or win the game. Ted Cruz, again, doesn't have the mathematical possibility of winning. He's got to try to deny Trump the 1,237 delegates that he needs. It's not clear that he's going to be able to do that. If Trump wins in Indiana, picks up a bunch of delegates there, he looks like he's on path to win the nomination on the first ballot, whether that's done through the primaries or through the primaries plus getting some of the unbound delegates that will be at that convention.
John, before we get to the next set of questions, we want to go to Terre Haute, Indiana right now, where Donald Trump is holding a rally. Let's listen into that.
60, but we had Maryland, Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island. We won in landslides, every one of them. But I watched Karl Rove say, he has not broken 50%. So I had a state where I had 44%. I had one where I had 48%. I got 6 guys I'm running against at that point. See, it's a very unfair thing because in the history of Republican politics, there's never been 17 people that ran for office, okay? So you have 17. So let's say we go into the first state and you had 17, and then you go down to 15, then you go down to 12 or 14 or something. And I'm getting 30s and 35s and 40s. But you can't break. Now, a couple of weeks ago, New York and others, but in New York and Massachusetts, I almost broke 50%. Well, Tom Brady likes me, so that's good. That helps when Tom Brady likes you, because Tom is a great guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And by the way, he has a lot of respect for your quarterback. And your quarterback, if he's healthy, I think you're going to have a great team this year, I have to tell you. I think so. It's like life. You have to stay healthy, folks. We have to all stay healthy. But in Massachusetts, I did great, right? And then you go down to Alabama, I did great. But when you have 7, 8, 9 people, and then you get 44 or 42%, And the bottom line, here's what it all is. It's a bad system. It's a rigged system. The delegate stuff is really dishonest. Because you can go and buy delegates. You can take delegates to dinner and hotel rooms and take them for a cruise to Paris. But who wants to go to Paris? I'd rather stay here. But you can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. But the way you beat the system is the way we're beating the system. We're getting so many votes, there's nothing they can do. It's like a disaster for them. It's like a disaster. So, Cruz, you know, with his phony rhetoric, everything's so dramatic. Well, please. I had television. You know, I should be watching. I'm coming up on television. He was speaking, the hand and the flourish. A simple statement. And I can't watch. I turn it off. I can't watch. But darling, he's speaking about you. I said, oh no, I can't watch the guy. And other people agree. In fact, when he goes on, his ratings go like this. The ratings for television, which isn't a good thing. That's why they have me on so much. That's true. They put me on not because I'm a nice person, which I hope I am. They put me on because I get great ratings, okay? Okay? And you know why I get great ratings? Because I'm real. People get it. You know, people get it. And I get great ratings because I'm real. Now, actually, television doesn't care about poll numbers. You could be at the bottom of the poll, but if you're getting great ratings, you're going to be on, all right? You can come up with the cure to a major, horrible disease. And if you don't get ratings, you're not on. They won't even announce it. This is the way they are. Now, the press, oh, that's a good group of people. Extremely dishonest people. We know that, okay? Extremely dishonest. Like beyond belief, all right? Beyond belief. We had a crowd, 31,000 people the other day. That's where they had some little problems outside where these thugs were jumping on police cars. And honestly, the police are great. You know, the police in this country are incredible people. Incredible people. But they're under tremendous restrictions. And, you know, you have a thug like that pounding the car, causing, you know, probably totaling almost the car. He's jumping on the roof, and the roof is caved in, and the hood's caved in. And, you know, you gotta be tougher. You can't let people do that. You can't let people do that. I mean, this guy should be put in jail for 5 years. He'll never do it again, I promise. But, you know, they have a policy with hands off, and you know, the cop touches him by mistake. They lose their career. They lose their pension. They'll get fired. Our police in this country are incredible, and they really put up with a lot. And it's a shame. And I love them, and we have to respect them. And I just met your chief and a lot of your police officers outside. These are incredible people. And all over the country, the police departments are supporting me. All over the country. So I appreciate it. But we had 31,000 people in California. 31,000 for that one. I just flew in to do it, then I flew back here. And we had 31. We're going to do great in California. I think we're up to 49 or 50%. And by the way, polls just came out here, just now, NBC Wall Street Journal. We have a 15-point lead. 15. And the CBS poll just came out, and I think we have either the same thing or like even a bigger lead. So we're doing good. But I don't even want to tell you that. I said, you know, I think I'm not going to say it. Because if I say it, you know what happens? You'll take it nice and easy on Tuesday. No, you got to get out there. Terre Haute. We love Terre Haute. So let's talk about Terre Haute. I'm going to make you a little bit depressed, although I will tell you, we're going to bring it all back. I just met your mayor, and he's a great guy. And you know, it's very tough. Where's the mayor? Where is he? Mayor, you're doing a great job. He needs a little help from the federal government, I will say that, right? Like we have to stop the devaluation of their currencies, and, you know, we need a little help. I tell the time, you know, about Indianapolis. I've been talking about Carrier from the first day it happened, which was when I saw the cell phone tape of that firing. And I've been talking, nobody else has. You know, now they're all picking it up. They're all saying, oh, let's talk about Carrier. I've been talking about this thing for like 3 months, 4 months, whenever it is they made that in every speech practically, because it's emblematic of what's happening in the country. And it's emblematic on Terre Haute, the same thing. Let's see, you've lost 1 in 7 jobs, manufacturing jobs since the recession. That's only in 2007. Labor force in the city is nearly 8,000 people smaller today than it was 25 years ago. Don't worry, Mayor, we're bringing it back. Stay in office, don't leave me. We're bringing it back. You know, it's impossible. Local government, you can't compete. When they're moving to places where they make the product, and they do you phony. You know, I study this stuff. I love this stuff, but it's simple devaluation.
We've been listening to Donald Trump at his rally in Terre Haute, Indiana. I want to bring back in John Allen, columnist with Roll Call from our Washington newsroom, who was joining us just before we went to take that. Now, no surprise, John, there that Donald Trump went after Cruz, calling him phony, all the rhetoric's phony, calling the media dishonest, and then he went back to what we've heard in the last several stops about these thugs that have blocked his way when he was in California specifically over the last week. Trump is leading very big right now in Indiana there. What does a Trump win do for Cruz and Kasich's strategy?
I think it further blows them out of the water. I think they've managed to be able to hang on by a thread and continue some stories after last Tuesday's Acela primary, if you will, where Trump won 5 states. They've been able to keep this storyline going that they still have some chance to stop him. I think he wins Indiana, and that really falls away. And I think the coverage of Cruz and Kasich will fall away, as will their campaign contributions.